Greetings and salutations, shiny humans. This is Dr. B. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do your weekly love reading, overall energies, all of that fun stuff. If you're interested in getting a private reading with me, the link for doing so is in the description box below. And very excited to have the opportunity to work with you. Let's just get an overall energy for this week. As always, these readings are timeless, and so if you happen to come across this reading at a certain point, even if it's a week later or 2 weeks or a year later, it can still be applicable to you. All right. Spirit, please guide this reading. Draw a sacred circle around this space. May the messages that come through be enlightening, inspirational, and encouraging to the listener. May the messages serve the highest good of all those concerned. So, the candle that's burning, I dressed it with a love and attraction oil and set the intention for the best messages possible to come through for those of you that are in a relationship, seeking a relationship, or deepening an existing relationship. Overall energy. Pretending. Okay. Interesting. Message me. Okay. And family. Okay, so this is a very interesting energy just to start off with. You or the person that you're dealing with, or both of you, are pretending, kind of avoiding things right now. There's something that has happened, something that has transpired, something that is has created kind of a barrier between the two of you, and instead of addressing it head on, the both of you are pretending like everything is okay rather than just addressing it. And so if there's something that has happened, a breach, something, it's best just to deal with it, right? Better to deal with it head on than to pretend like everything is okay and then have to deal with the repercussions of that later. This next message is, don't be afraid to reach out. Okay, hold on, sorry. They're telling me to go back to this one. For a lot of people think that conflict is a problem in a relationship. They think that having conflict or being at odds with your person is indicative of like a relationship failing or not working or something like that. And the truth is that conflict is actually the beginning of intimacy. And so if you can have conflict with somebody and then navigate it successfully, you actually create better and deeper bonds because you understand that you're not going to run at the first time that there's conflict, and that you're not going to bail the minute that there's something that's wrong. So very interesting energy, and I'm not sure why they wanted me to come back to that, other than a lot of times people who avoid conflict and pretend like everything is fine end up with more issues and more problems than they would have otherwise. So the message, next one is message me. So what this is saying is that if you've been avoiding like reaching out to the person or wanting to talk to the person because you're afraid of their response, they're saying don't be afraid to reach out. And also somebody has to break the ice, right? So if there's been conflict, or there's been even not even conflict, it could just be that like maybe you like somebody and they like you, but both of you are kind of like pretending like it's not real. You're playing your cards close to your chest. You're trying to be like chill about it, but you're actually like really interested. It's like somebody has to reach out and like, you know, breach that distance and take the chance. And so why not? Like I always go back to this, like, what do you have to lose, right? Your ego, if they reject you, your ego gets a little bit bruised for a while. Okay, big deal. Then you move on. Not a huge deal. Take a chance. And then this last one is, family is very important to me. How would you feel about us becoming a family? That's a big leap, right? But this is the person you're dealing with is someone who has a family or is, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean their own family, like children and stuff. It could mean that, but they're a very family-oriented person. And so one of the things that they're looking for in a romantic partner is somebody who is invested in family and invested in growth. And so they are definitely thinking about that. They also probably have some things that are going on with them in their family. So maybe they're, if they have their own children, they may be having some drama with their co-parent. They might be having some issues with that. Maybe somebody in their family is sick, but there's something that's going on that has been keeping them kind of occupied and less able to talk to you than they would be normally. And that's also kind of what's going on. So overall energy, not bad, actually, not bad. Other than, both of you it feels like for most of you, it's like, I like you, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to play my cards close to my chest and see what happens. And they're also feeling the same way. I'm not sure if this person is nice to me because they actually like me, how we used to say, or do you like them, or do you just like them, right? So they're kind of I'm not sure if this person actually likes me in that way. And so I'm not sure I want to say something. And you're also feeling the same way. So somebody has to kind of bridge the gap and make it explicit what you're interested in. So their overall energy, we're going to pull some cards on that. And again, I'm using the Neon Love Oracle and the Neon Tarot. Okay. So just kind of moved my thing. Okay. Their overall energy. They're at a crossroads. See you at the crossroads. See you at the crossroads so you won't be lonely. Okay. Interesting. So they're kind of they're stuck. Your person is stuck right now. They have two different roads that are ahead of them, and they're dealing with that. They're kind of making some decisions, tough decisions. But they're at the end of it. The energy that I'm getting, because these two cards came out immediately after, is that this is an energy of somebody who's just not sure what to do, and they're kind of stuck, and they're kind of I can't see things clearly. I don't know what to do. And then when you're in that energy, it's easy to kind of be stuck and stay there. Well, what this is saying here is that they're getting close and ready to move on. I'm talking within a month or so, they will have wrapped up this energy and will be moving forward into something new. It doesn't mean that they're going to come to you with that song Jagged Edge, baby, let's get married. I don't think anything like that, but they're going to be ready to move on to their happily ever after. This is a person who, whatever is going on in their life, whether it's jobs or family, baby mama drama kind of stuff, it's trapping them now and they feel stuck. They're going to be very clear very soon. And that's going to be really interesting for them and for you. Because they aren't going to, this is a person, I'm getting a very strong, kind of decisive and almost like a powerful masculine type energy. And it doesn't mean, again, energies are not gender or not gendered. So there can be women or femmes that have very masculine energy and may not always have masculine energy. Sometimes it's you have to, and you step into that space when you need to, and then you can move back into your, feminine energy afterwards. This is a person who, once they make a decision, they're that's it. The decision is made and they move forward and they just kind of march on. That's what I'm seeing. It's that's it. And so they're about to make that decision. And once they make that decision, the door to the past will be closed and they'll be moving forward toward their happily ever after. But they're looking for their, what's that song I'm hearing in my head? I'm looking for a new love, baby, a new love. They're not going to be actively out there seeking a new love, but they know what they are looking for when it presents itself, if that makes sense. They're not going to be hopping onto dating apps necessarily. immediately, but they're also gonna, like, once this energy closes, they're gonna open themselves up to a new love, a new relationship. But this one, they want to be supportive. They want it to be very different than what they had in the past. And that's what this energy is. They're looking for their Queen of Cups, right? They want someone who's like emotionally stable, mature, somebody who's not going to like play games and do things in a communicative, like in a non-communicative way. They're looking for someone who matches their energy. Somebody gonna match my freak. Like that's what they're looking for. They want somebody who is going to match them and their maturity. This is a mature person. This is not somebody who's childish, not somebody who plays games. They're not looking for someone who does that either. They've had enough of that for a lifetime. Your overall energy, you're focused on work, 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 work. Knight of Swords. Ooh, perfect. I love seeing this. And independence. So a lot of you are really focused on just working right now. You have a business, you have work, you've got school, you've got other things that are going on, which is really good for you because it means that you're not going to get stuck and caught up in a bunch of drama and nonsense. And I think that person is going to really like that about you, that you're like, who has time for gossiping or game playing or whatever. I have a life to live and a business to build and an empire, right? So you're really focused on your craft, working hard, staying focused, working on building things in the material world. So that could be that like maybe you're redecorating your house or maybe you're reorganizing your room. Like there's things that you're doing that are keeping you focused, which is really good. Now I want to be careful with this because what is that old like nursery rhyme? Like all work and no play makes, Sally, whatever. All work and no play. That can be your energy right now. It's important to be careful of that. You want to be playful and work, right? So find a way to do both so that you're able to manifest and attract the things that you want. Clear communication, fast communication. I feel like when you make up your mind, like it's almost like you kind of look up from this, like you're like doing this work and you look up and you see this person, your love interest there. And you might just want to decide to come forward with communication, like message me, pretending, all of that, where you're like, I'm not going to sit here and like wait for this person to talk to me. I'm going to go ahead and do the thing that I want to do, which is to reach out to them and maybe be a little bit more flirty than you were in the past, or maybe you'll say something, but I feel like it's going to be kind of like rapid and almost impulsive. Like it's not something that you're necessarily going to think about and plan. You're not going to have like a major strategy of like, oh, when I see them, I'm going to say this. It's going to be more like the striking while the iron's hot kind of thing. And I think that's going to help the connection to move forward a bit. And I really like that. But you're also very focused on like building your independence and your financial stability. So this card really speaks again to kind of this card, that you're moving into a space of more maturity and more like really developed levels of consciousness, which is really beautiful. And you're focused on building money. Like you have money, you've got material resources. There are things that you're trying to work on, things that you're trying to build that are super important for you. And you're not going to let some, nonsense distract you or get in your way. You're going to stay focused and you're going to keep building. You're very independent, right? You're a person who's very independent. And ironically, that's what's very attractive about you to this other person, is that they see that you're a person who can stand on your own. Again, I got this message last week, power couple. This is power couple energy. What your person is looking for is a counterpart, someone who can match their energy, someone who cares about the things that they care about, someone who is strong and independent and that can take care of themselves, not because they don't want to support you and take care of you, but also because they want to know that you're not going to crumble under pressure and that you're going to be able to withstand. What is that new edition? Can you stand the rain? Right? This is a person who has been in relationships before with people who couldn't stand the rain. And the minute shit got hard and got challenging, they disappeared or did something stupid, like, had an affair, emotional affair, did something that betrayed the relationship and betrayed the integrity. And it was all behind like feelings of insecurity or feelings of whatever. And this person is like, I don't want that anymore. I want something, someone who's independent and strong and successful in their own right, who isn't going to crumble at the first sign of pressure. Okay. So, any blocks that you should be aware of? Interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this energy is like, it's often seen as like the thief in the tarot, right? Where this person kind of like is, what was that in Jerry Maguire where he was like, you shoplifting the pootie? Remember that line? I don't know if you guys remember that line, but he's like, you can't shoplift the pootie from a single mom. But this, I'm sorry, like I swear the things that come into my mind when I'm doing readings are so funny. Like my guides have such a sense of humor. And this energy is about this, both of you don't want like a hit it and quit it, hit and run kind of energy. You want something that's more serious, that's more stable. It doesn't mean that both of you or either of you are looking for marriage or anything like that. It just means that you want somebody who's not going to shoplift the booty. You want somebody who's going to stick around and who's going to be more committed and more loyal. And so, because of that, it can make you a little bit standoffish. It can make you a little bit like you're being a little bit too careful, playing your cards a little bit too close to your chest because you're wanting to be careful, but you have to understand that too, that like if you're coming off as like closed off, like you're not even open to it at all, that can give the wrong message. So the other interesting message here is the Lovers in the block position. So for some of you, you have to make the choice, right? Because are you actually seeking new love and relationships? And if so, are you practicing that? Are you open to it? Is your heart open? Are you emotionally ready for it? I talk about this all the time, right? About having like your house prepared. And that can mean like literally or metaphorically speaking. But like if your person knocked on your door today, the person of your dreams, the person that you're thinking about, if they knocked on your door today and they were like, hey, I just met you and this is crazy, but let's move in or whatever. Are you ready for that? Do you have space? Are you emotionally ready? Are you spiritually ready? Is your house ready? Right? And so we want to keep our emotional and spiritual and metaphorical, spiritual and physical houses clean. Right? We want to make sure that we're ready. So are you living the life that you want to live that would magnetize you to your partner? Are you living the way that you want to? Right? Because these are the choices that we have to make. So for some of you, you have to just make the decision, like I'm choosing to open myself to love and I'm doing so in X, Y, and Z way. And I'm going to allow myself to be receptive to love. Love is available. It's accessible. It's here, but you have to be ready for it in order for it to fully manifest. That's the message that I'm getting here. And then the other block is that there's something from the past. So whether it's you or them, I'm actually getting the message that it's both of you to some extent, that both of you have some things from the past that you're needing to let go of in order to move forward into the new life, the new existence that's available for you. So whatever you're holding on to, whether it's unforgiveness, whether it's bad habits, whether it's anything, it's time to let it go and move forward. And this feels like a very significant relationship, like a spiritual connection, a soulmate, twin flame, divine counterpart, whatever language you like to use, that you're marrying each other. So if they're stuck with something from their past, you're stuck with something from your past. And if you can let go of the thing that's keeping you stuck, it's going to help them to get unstuck. So let's look at the likely outcome. Well, this is interesting. Okay. The end of conflict. And this conflict that I'm getting here on this card is not about conflict between the two of you. It doesn't feel like that at all. It actually feels like conflict with yourselves. Some of you are at war with yourselves right now about what you want, what you're willing to do, kind of being afraid to reach out, pretending like everything is okay, or pretending like you're not interested, being very nonchalant about things when you actually are very caring and serious and it means a lot to you. So it's kind of like you got to get your messages cleared up so that it's not continuing to be this thing where it's like you're giving mixed messages and people don't actually know what's going on. This is what this is. It's an internal conflict. It's about coming into peace with yourself, not being at war with yourself anymore. And the next message is the Queen of Wands. This is an energy of like spiritual maturity and development. So in this being in the outcome, this is saying that this experience that you're having is leading to this maturity. Like when you let this inner war go, it's going to lead to this like very advanced spiritual knowledge and awareness, and kind of up leveling is what they're showing me emotionally and spiritually, which means that you're going to be able to more easily manifest the things that you want in this life. And then the last card, the song that immediately came up for me is this song by Sun Little called Lay Down. And this card, traditionally, obviously, it looks like this person is burdened, right? They're heavy. It's like a lot. They can't see what's going on. But the outcome here is like that song. It says, baby, won't you lay down and just watch the waterfall, I think is what it says. And so the song is like about relaxing and like kind of letting go. This outcome to me, the way that this is reading is very clearly about letting go of any burdens. So this relationship is going to actually help you to let go of things that you've been holding on to in the past, from the past, right? We talked about this already, letting go of the past, right? Letting go of things from your past that have been holding you back. This connection, ironically, is the thing that's going to help you get free from all of that so that you can move forward and that you can feel free, and this internal conflict, this kind of war that you're waging with yourself, goes away. And I think what it's saying, like the message I'm picking up here is that this counterpart is presenting something to you that is so appealing and so emotionally fulfilling that it makes you want to get better. It makes you want to do better. It's like, I keep getting a movie quote, like you make me want to be a better man. Sorry, I got cut off there for a second. But the message is like, you want this person, this love, this connection inspires you to be better and want better. And it's also doing the same for them. It's like they're seeing, both of you are seeing like what's available with each other. And that energy is so appealing that it's like, I'm willing to let go of the past. I'm willing to let go of these old hurts because I want to have this relationship and this opportunity to come together with my counterpart in this way that is so beautiful and so amazing. That things that you may have grappled with for a long time, things that you thought like are not, maybe I'm never going to change this, maybe this is never going to get better. This relationship is opening you to that better, right? It's opening you to that where you're like, I am going to become my best self, not for this person, but I'm inspired by this person to become better, to let go of the past, to let go of the things that aren't serving me anymore, because they're worth it and this connection is worth it. So I hope that this reading was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. Take care. Bye.